Hello, Frugal Force. Once again, this is Captain Frugal reporting for duty. And if you've been following my channel, you know I really enjoyed the first issue of Rags, Rags number 1. So now that Rags number 2 is out, if you're wondering my thoughts are, stay tuned and watch this video. Alright, Frugal Force, once again, thank you for joining me. If you do like these videos, please be sure to hit like and subscribe and hit that notifications bell. Also, I know YouTube's not my biggest supporter. It doesn't notify a lot of people, so if you want to make sure you're notified, go ahead and go to that info bar down below. There's a link for our Patreon, where you can join our Patreon for as little as $1 a month. We would greatly appreciate it, and then you'll get notifications through Patreon about these videos. So with that said, Rags number 2. Here we have the cover. Once again, spectacular art. We'll say the art has not wavered in this issue. It's just as good as the first issue. So right off the bat, I see the cover and I'm interested. If you look here at the credits of the issue, we can see who created this wonderful book, if you will. The story was by Brian Ball and Trent Luther. The art was by Luigi Tergil, and once again, I destroy names, so I apologize. As you see the colors here, so make sure to take a good look so I don't completely obliterate those. Also, it's starring Liz Finnegan. Okay, they actually used her face as well, now officially her body, I guess, too, for the model for the person for the comic book. So, and by the way, I've talked to most of these people. They're a great group of people. You should definitely check them out on Twitter and things like that. They are really, really kind to the people that want to interact with them. So that's another plus. I love supporting the community, and this group definitely is big in the community support and caring about people. So definitely, consider that. All right, so let's turn in and talk a little bit about the story. This issue picks up right where the last one left off, when our protagonist character here, Rags, is looking for some clothing. Yes, she needs pants. Just for the record, too, I have the censored version. So there is an uncensored version coming. I tend to get the censored version. I have kids and things like that. I don't need them stumbling in and seeing that. One of the interesting things about this book is the choice way of coloring. It's partial color, partial black and white, grayscale or whatever, and that was a stylistic choice, and I really like it. I think it works well for the book. As you see here, the art and the layouts and everything, it's still continuing the same great way it was in issue 1. This character, if you haven't been following too much, you're not sure, is one of the reasons I like this book. The female character, the protagonist, is not a Mary Sue. So we don't have this perfect, can do all kind of character. This character is actually the opposite. She's a wreck. Okay, she is pretty much, you could tell she's accomplished. Her military background and things, she's proven she has skills, but she's going through a lot of mental issues. She's went through a lot in life, and it's weighing heavily on her. I don't want to give away too much because I don't want to give away what happened in the first issue, but she's struggling from what happened in that issue as well as some other things in her past. And that makes her an interesting character. As you see here, she has very, how do I put this? Not for the faint of heart artwork in there. So keep that in mind. Now, one of the interesting points in this book, which some might see as a negative, is there really isn't much for a supporting cast so far. Nothing really established. The people that we have seen haven't fared too well or haven't have enough to really get much into their backstory yet. But that might be intentional, because you get this feeling this character is truly alone. She's in this, all on her own. She doesn't have anybody, and I think that adds to it. Imagine a terrible, catastrophic event kind of thing happen, where nobody's like they were. They appear to be like zombies or that, whatever it is, man-eating, and you're completely alone. Even though there's other people around, nobody's really with you. And that, I think, adds to the intensity. But, it does make it, maybe you would assume, hard to understand more about the character and their back history. But this book does good is it gives you information about their back history by showing flashbacks. So in this issue, we get a nice flashback of what happened to her in her military, in her military life. And so you can start seeing how some things are impacting her, like maybe PTSD and things like that. And it definitely has an impact on this character and makes the character more relatable, and you actually care about the character. Now, also, anybody that knows my reviews knows I believe in being fair and honest, so I don't cut anybody slack just because I know them. So one negative I do have about this is some of the panels I think are a little bit hard to read with the lettering. I struggle with that, but maybe that's just me. You look there or you read the book and you let me know what you thought about that. It's not a bad knock, it's just it had to take a little bit of time to read and understand what it was saying. Now, this book has more action than the last issue, and I'm not going to show you too much of it, but I just wanted to show you a couple pages so you have an idea of how great the art is and things in this book. And that's one of the things I can't hit on enough is look at the facial expressions when you read this. Look at those things. You could tell there was a lot of care in the character showing her emotions, and that's what really drives this story. But yet there is some good action in this story too. It's a great continuation from issue 1. After reading this, I have to say I enjoyed it greatly. I would probably give it a B+ grade. Trust me, I don't give A's easily. This is very good, and it definitely makes me want to read the next issue. So it was very close to an A. I'm giving it a strong B+, very strong, maybe even A- in that Tori. We learned a little bit more about the character, what makes her tick. It makes me want to keep reading more, as well as know what happens next. And I'm waiting, and I'm just waiting. When is she going to get that tactical onesie? All right, so if you haven't gotten this book and you were on the fence, I say this one's Frugal Force approved. You can't go wrong. You can get this right now. The censored version, I believe, is 99 cents. And so definitely check it out. I'll put the info link in the info bar so you can check it out. I don't regret getting it at all. I recommend that you do too. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. And until next time, keep it frugal.